Ladies and gentlemen, let's start with a simple question. What are you telling yourself right now? Think about it. What do you say to yourself when you wake up in the morning? When things get tough, when you face a challenge, are you lifting yourself up or are you tearing yourself down? Because here's the truth, what you say to yourself matters. Your words are powerful. In fact, they're more powerful than anything someone else can say to you. You could hear 1,000 compliments from others, but if your inner dialogue is negative, you'll still feel small. You'll still hold yourself back. But here's the good news, you have the ability to change that. And I want to show you how in just 3 days. Now, let me ask you another question. When was the last time you truly believed in yourself, no matter what? How often do you find yourself doubting your worth or ability? It's so easy to fall into that trap, isn't it? Negative self-talk is the default for many of us. We're conditioned to doubt ourselves, to second guess, to criticize. But here's the secret, you don't have to live that way. Imagine what could happen if for just 3 days you stopped that cycle. You stopped doubting yourself, stopped tearing yourself down, and instead spoke to yourself like you truly believed in your potential. I think about it for 72 hours. What if you replaced your self-criticism with self-empowerment? That's the challenge I want to give you today. For just 3 days, change your language. Speak to yourself like you would to a friend you love deeply. How would you talk to them when they're struggling? You wouldn't say, "You're not good enough, you can't do this." No, you'd say, "You've got this. I believe in you. You're capable of handling whatever comes your way, so why aren't you saying that to yourself?" You are capable. You are deserving. And I want you to start speaking that way. When you wake up, say it out loud, "I am capable. I am worthy of success. Today is going to be a great day because I'm taking control." You may not believe it at first, but keep saying it. Keep repeating it. You'll begin to see a shift. The reality is you control your mindset, your thoughts, your actions, your energy. Those are all within your power. Stop giving your energy away to the things you can't control. Focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your attitude, your next step. And speak to yourself like you know you're on the right track. You'll be amazed at how quickly things start moving when you believe they will. Every time you feel doubt creep in, challenge it. Don't just accept it. Don't let that negative narrative run the show. Replace it with something better. I am enough. I am worthy of everything I want. I am growing every day. Keep telling yourself that for 3 days. That's all it takes. By the end of those 3 days, you'll have built momentum. You'll have proven to yourself that you can change the way you think. And once you start that process, it's hard to go back. You'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish when you speak to yourself like you're the person you want to be. You'll start seeing your life shift because your words shape your reality. So here's my challenge to you for the next 3 days. Speak to yourself like you already have what you want. Like you already are who you want to become. And watch what happens. In 3 days, you can set yourself on a whole new path. You can change your life one word at a time. It's simple. It's powerful. And it starts with you. Imagine this every day. You wake up, you look in the mirror, and you start talking to yourself. Maybe it's something like, "I don't feel ready for today," or "I'm not good enough for this," or maybe you don't even realize the constant stream of negativity running through your mind. But here's the thing, every word you say to yourself is shaping your reality. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your very actions are all influenced by that internal dialogue. If you're telling yourself you can't do something, you're already planting the seeds of failure. If you're telling yourself you're not good enough, you're reinforcing the belief that you're not worthy of success. And here's the kicker, that inner conversation you're having, that's more powerful than any criticism or praise you'll ever hear from the outside world. We've all heard the saying, "You are your own worst critic," but let me tell you something, it doesn't have to be this way. Your inner dialogue doesn't need to be a voice of doubt, fear, or limitation. In fact, it can be the voice of empowerment, strength, and possibility. The words you speak to yourself have the power to either lift you up or hold you back. And in most cases, we don't even realize how much control we have over it. But trust me, you do. You have the power to change the narrative in your own head. You can shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance, from a mindset of defeat to one of victory. When you start paying attention to your self-talk, you begin to realize that you've been programming yourself all along. You're the one who has been deciding whether or not you can succeed. You're the one who has been setting the boundaries of your potential. The thoughts you have, the words you speak to yourself, are the foundation upon which your life is built. They dictate how you show up every day, how you respond to challenges, and how you handle setbacks. The truth is, we have all been talking to ourselves in ways that are less than kind. But the most empowering thing is that we can change that. We can rewire our minds, we can reshape how we speak to ourselves, and we can begin to create a reality that aligns with our true potential. The voice inside your head doesn't have to be an enemy, it can be your greatest ally. What if, instead of doubting yourself, you started speaking to yourself like you already had the confidence you seek? What if, instead of thinking I'm not good enough, you said I am more than enough and actually believed it? What if you started every day by affirming your worth, your strength, and your ability to rise above whatever challenges come your way? The power of self-talk is not just a feel-good concept, it's the foundation of success, happiness, and personal growth. It's the quiet, invisible force that drives you forward when the world tells you to stop. And the best part, you get to decide how it works. You are the author of your own story, the director of your own movie, and it all starts with the words you choose to say to yourself. From the moment we're born, we start absorbing messages from the world around us. We're told who we should be, what we should want, and what we should accomplish. And somewhere along the way, many of us internalize the idea that we're not enough. It's not intentional, it's not malicious, but it's there, quietly shaping our thoughts and beliefs. This constant undercurrent of doubt becomes the default setting in our minds. Without even realizing it, we begin to question ourselves, our worth, and our abilities. We find ourselves thinking, am I good enough? Can I really do this? Who am I to try? And let me tell you something, this is a pattern that most people fall into. It's the default. It's what we've been taught to expect. The problem with this default setting is that it holds us back. It keeps us trapped in a cycle of fear and inaction. It tells us that we should wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect conditions before we step forward. But here's the thing, perfection is an illusion. There's never a perfect moment, a perfect set of circumstances, or a perfect version of you. But that voice of doubt keeps us waiting, keeps us small, keeps us playing it safe. It's like having a constant inner critic that's always questioning whether we're enough to step up and go after what we truly want. We've all been there. You know the feeling. You're excited about an idea, a project, a dream, but then almost immediately doubt creeps in. What if I fail? What if people laugh at me? What if I'm not as good as I think I am? That's the default mode of self-doubt in action. It's a pattern of thinking that has been ingrained in us over time, one that stops us before we even begin. And it's so easy to fall into this trap. It feels natural, even though it's holding us back from greatness. But here's the most important thing you need to realize: this default mode is not permanent. It's not who you are. It's just a habit. And like any habit, it can be changed. The truth is, we don't have to accept that voice of doubt as our truth. We don't have to believe that the fear, the hesitation, the feeling of inadequacy is the final word. It's just a story we've been telling ourselves over and over again. And that story can be rewritten. Imagine if instead of doubting yourself at every turn, you started embracing every challenge, every opportunity as a chance to grow, to learn, to become better. What if you decided right now to reject the default setting and start believing in your ability to succeed? What if, instead of thinking, I'm not good enough, you started saying, I am more than capable and I am worthy of achieving great things? What would happen then? The first step in breaking free from the default mode of self-doubt is recognizing it for what it is, a pattern of thinking that doesn't serve you. And once you see it, you can choose to challenge it. You can choose to question it. You can choose to replace it with something far more powerful: belief in yourself. Because when you start to truly believe that you have what it takes, that you are worthy of success, and that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way, you start to take action. You start to push forward. You stop waiting for permission, for validation, or for the perfect conditions. You realize that the only thing standing in your way is the story you've been telling yourself. And once you change that story, everything changes with it. You've already proven that you can succeed, maybe not in everything you've ever dreamed of, but in ways that matter. You've overcome challenges, you've learned, you've grown. The key is learning to believe in that power you already have. It's about understanding that self-doubt doesn't define you, but your ability to rise above it does. Imagine if for just 3 days you took control of your inner dialogue, chose to challenge every ounce of self-doubt, and replaced it with belief. Picture this: you wake up, and instead of immediately thinking about what you don't have or can't do, you decide right then and there to flip the script. For 3 days, you talk to yourself like you've already achieved your goals, like you already have the success you desire, like you already are the person you want to be. No more self-criticism, no more negativity, just pure, unshakable confidence. You wake up with intention, knowing that your words and thoughts are the foundation upon which your success is built. It might sound simple, but here's the thing: those first 3 days are powerful. When you commit to just 3 days of changing how you speak to yourself, you're not just changing your thoughts, you're changing your habits, your mindset, and your entire approach to life. For 72 hours, you're giving yourself a crash course in self-empowerment. It's a mental reset, a way to start reprogramming the thoughts that have been holding you back. You'll begin to notice a shift in the way you carry yourself, the way you approach challenges, and the way you think about your potential. It's like planting the first seeds of a new reality, one that is based on possibility instead of limitation. And here's the beauty of it: you don't need years of effort or overwhelming changes. You don't need months of intense discipline or a perfect plan. You need 3 days of consistent, focused effort. For just 3 days, you talk to yourself like you already are who you want to be. You tell yourself that you can do it, that you deserve success, and that you are more than capable of handling whatever comes your way. You eliminate the excuses, the fears, and the doubts, and instead focus on what's possible. And in those 3 days, you will begin to feel a shift, a real tangible difference in how you think, act, and approach your life. You see, it's not about making everything perfect in 3 days. It's about setting the stage for long-term transformation. 3 days of speaking to yourself with the kind of belief you'd have if you were already living your dream life can be the spark that ignites the fire of self-belief in action. 3 days can create momentum. Momentum is the magic that makes things happen. Once you experience the shift that comes from changing your inner dialogue, once you feel the power of talking to yourself with respect, compassion, and confidence, you'll want to keep going. You'll realize that you don't have to wait for someone else to believe in you because you already believe in yourself. In those 3 days, you'll begin to recognize how much your thoughts and words impact your reality. You'll see that by simply deciding to change how you speak to yourself, you're taking control of your life. You're no longer a passive observer hoping for things to change. You're an active participant shaping your future with every word you choose to believe. And that's incredibly empowering. It's just 3 days. But in those 3 days, you can start to create the habits that will carry you forward. You can break the cycle of doubt, fear, and self-criticism. You can stop letting the negative voice in your head dictate your reality. Instead, you'll start leading your life with conviction, passion, and belief in your own ability to achieve everything you desire. 3 days isn't a long time, but the results can be profound. The challenge is simple for just 3 days. Talk to yourself like you already believe in your potential. Watch what happens. It could just be the beginning of something amazing. When was the last time you truly spoke to yourself with confidence? I'm not talking about pretending or putting on a facade for others to see, but truly, genuinely speaking to yourself as if you believe in your own potential, in your own abilities. So often we're our harshest critics. We say things like, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready, or I can't do this. We've been conditioned to doubt ourselves, to second guess our worth, and to focus on all the reasons why we might fail. But here's the truth. Every single time you speak to yourself in that way, you reinforce a story of limitation. And that story becomes your reality. Now think about this for a moment. What would happen if you started speaking to yourself with the same level of encouragement, belief, and support that you would offer to someone you truly care about? What if, instead of focusing on what you can't do, you started reminding yourself of what you can do? What if, instead of waiting for the world to validate you, you started validating yourself? When you speak to yourself with confidence, you stop doubting your potential and start taking action. You stop hesitating and begin moving with purpose, knowing deep down that you are capable of achieving what you set your mind to. Confidence doesn't come from waiting for someone else to tell you that you're worthy. It doesn't come from looking for external validation. Confidence starts from within. It's a belief that you're enough as you are right now and that you have what it takes to succeed. It's about acknowledging that while you may not have all the answers, you have the ability to figure it out. It's the courage to take the next step, even when things feel uncertain or difficult, because you trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. When you speak to yourself with confidence, you're building an inner strength that cannot be easily shaken. Every affirmation, every empowering thought you repeat strengthens your belief in your own potential. You stop making excuses and you stop waiting for the perfect moment to act. You begin to trust your decisions, trust your instincts, and trust that you are capable of finding the solutions to the challenges that arise. Confidence doesn't mean you won't experience fear or doubt. It means you choose to take action despite those feelings. It means you don't let them control you. It means you step into your power, knowing that you are worthy of everything you desire and that you have everything you need to get there. Imagine speaking to yourself with that kind of belief every single day. What would happen if you woke up every morning and said, I am enough, I am capable, I am ready for whatever comes today? What would happen if you walked into every room, faced every challenge, and pursued every opportunity with the knowledge that you've got this? The truth is, confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you create. You create it by consistently speaking to yourself with love, with belief, and with respect. You create it by shutting down the voice of doubt and replacing it with the voice of strength. Speaking to yourself with confidence doesn't mean being arrogant or dismissing your flaws. It means acknowledging that you're human, that you have room to grow, but also knowing that you are enough as you are right now. It's about giving yourself the grace to make mistakes while having the belief that those mistakes will only help you learn and grow. It's about giving yourself permission to dream big and go after what you want without apologizing for wanting more, for expecting more from yourself, or for believing you deserve it. So starting today, make a commitment to yourself. Speak with confidence, speak with belief, and watch how your world begins to change. Because when you start speaking to yourself like you've already achieved your goals, like you've already become the person you want to be, you will begin to act with the same confidence. And that, my friends, is the key to unlocking your true potential. So here's the truth. In just a few days, everything can start to shift. Your thoughts, your actions, your mindset, all of it can be transformed by something as simple as the way you speak to yourself. It may sound small, but the power of your words is limitless. By committing to just 3 days of confident, empowering self-talk, you'll begin to see that the life you've always wanted is not as far out of reach as you think. You have everything you need within you right now to achieve greatness. It all starts with a decision to believe in yourself, to speak to yourself with the kind of confidence and support you've always given to others. So take on this challenge. For 3 days, change the narrative in your head. Replace doubt with belief. Replace hesitation with action. Watch as you begin to move through the world with more energy, more purpose, and more belief in what's possible. And know this, the person you're becoming, the person who can achieve everything you dream of, is already within you. It's time to start believing that. It's time to start speaking like you already are that person. Your future is waiting now. Go make it happen.